Good morning, guys. Lisa here from Thermomix Adventures. Welcome to my Thermomix today. Hey, look, I don't know if you can tell from my face, but I have allergies at the moment. Anyone else suffer from allergies? Today, I want to show you how to make this anti-inflammatory soup. So, my allergies can get quite bad if I am not careful, and I've kind of, after camp last week, got to that place, not eating the right food, and being probably sleeping in unfamiliar places and things like that. And so it means that I've started taking an antihistamine, but it's still to the point that pretty much I had to go to the hardware this morning, and I think the guys thought I was crying because I was blowing my eyes and blowing my nose and wiping my eyes so much. That's how bad allergies get for me, and why I have to be super careful with my food, because bets are these allergies have been triggered by food, probably that I ate at camp the other week. And when I'm good with my food, the other stuff all toes in line. I can have a little bit of stuff that might be causing a reaction, but it doesn't go bad. But when it's a few days of food that I don't normally eat, we end up like this. So don't mind me if I have to duck off for a moment through this cook today, but I'm going to show you how easy it is to make a beautiful anti-inflammatory soup. And it's not on Cookie Do, because this month we're doing all manual making, okay? I Googled this morning a soup, an anti-inflammatory soup. It's not a cookie do, it's not even a Thermomix recipe. So I'm going to talk you through how to do that, because there's times when you might want to do this as well in your home, right? So today I'm going to tell you how to do it. So it's got, first of all, is some oil. And so they would normally be doing it on a saucepan, on a stove. And once we've got a Thermomix, we don't need a saucepan, and we don't even own one anymore. So first of all, it says some oil. It says 1 tablespoon. I'm just going to put Jamie Oliver style in. Do say hi if you're watching on. Remember to engage, so Facebook knows to put this on your profile. And if you're on YouTube, remember to subscribe to get the updates as to when I'm next on. First off is that oil in there. Next up, it says a leek. I don't have a leek, but I do have a little homegrown onion. Okay, so in that goes. Then it says some ginger. I got fresh ginger out of the garden. You could just use ginger powder. Obviously, when it's fresh, though, it's got a bit more of those anti-inflammatory properties. Being that it's so fresh, I don't actually need to peel it. If it is a bit woody, I still don't peel it, but I'll slice it in discs. And that cuts up the fibers. That is actually what kind of makes it a bit old and stale, the fibers that run this way. So if you cut it along this way, it means it doesn't, it breaks down those fibers easier. The other key ingredient for anti-inflammatory is turmeric. Oh no, here it is. I'm like, don't tell me I left it outside. This is actually literally fresh from the garden. The kids went and pulled this for me a second ago. I am going to get on Cookie Do later today. I might come live and show you. We'll see how much I can breathe by later today. It normally does get better as the day goes on. When I lie there at night, I'm up and down and blowing my nose all night because it's just running. Everything in my sinuses is running. So yes, in this goes a nice chunk of fresh turmeric. Okay, so I'm going to chop this down first of all, and then we're going to saute it. So our chopping, it's just like any other chop you've done. If you have done quite a few Cookie Do recipes, you know that it's like 3 seconds, speed 7. I'm just going to spin it to speed 7. Not going to put 3 seconds on. That was less than 3 seconds today. Okay, so I just cook a lot by ear when I manually make. I don't manually make, oh, well, no, I do. I used to manually make all the time when I had a TM31 and a TM5. There you go, that's done there. I'm just going to scrape down the sides. Let's get that into the base. Okay, now I am going to be heavily avoiding dairy, gluten, and sugar, because they're the trifecta that then sets everything else off for me. Okay, so if I have, normally I have a little bit here and there, right? But not days, a couple of days worth of it. So now we're going to cook this off. So you'll see today, what I was going to say there is, you'll see I'm going to use coconut milk, coconut cream actually. By the way, a little tip on cost saving. The can of milk and cream are pretty similar priced. The coconut milk, if you get pure, right? I'm talking pure. This has no thickener in it. The pure actually is, if you go for the milk, it's just watered down cream. So buy the cream and water it down yourself. Okay, there's a little cost saver. So 3 minutes on the timer. We're going to saute this off and sweeten it to start off with. 100 of aroma, speed nice and slow, speed 1, that's fine. Now, if you're in your home duplicating this later, this is your time to prep your veggies. I've got good old pumpkin and carrot. I've got 2 very large carrots. Now, this recipe called for 3 cups of chopped carrots and 1 cup of chopped butternut squash, or more carrots. So predominantly carrot-based recipe. Mine's kind of 50-50. I've got quite an even portion. Oh, I forgot to put my garlic in. Hang on, guys. I'm just going to put it in the top, and then I'm just going to spin my dial up momentarily. Let's get it chopped. Oopsie daisy. That's the risk of me when I'm manually cooking, is I do leave things out. That's why I do like guided recipes. Tell me in the chat as you're watching along, are you a guided recipe, a manual recipe, or a hybrid where you like to do a bit of both? Let me know. So then we've obviously got salt and pepper to taste. We've got water, and we've got our magic ingredient of veggie stock. There is one more ingredient I have forgotten to add that I wanted to add, and this is cumin, just because it's something we really like to put with pumpkin. Okay, so I'm just going to add probably 2. Now this is cumin seeds because I actually don't have any ground at the moment. Could be either. I'm going to be generous. I'm going to put 2 in there. Okay, now magic ingredient in all your soups, broths, those sorts of things is your veggie stock paste. If you haven't made it lately, please make it. Do yourself that favor. It does mean I probably won't need to add any salt to the final product of this recipe. Yes, pepper, but not salt, usually. Okay. Into a family size serve where it's a litre or more, you're going to put a heaped tablespoon. You'll need water as well because this is a concentrate. So I've got my water over there as well. And then a coconut cream. And the coconut cream at the end, I will taste it and just decide, and I won't be online for that part because we're going to cook this for 15 minutes. But I'll decide how much I'll need in there. The recipe says 1 can of light coconut milk. So I will probably just put in probably 100 grams of coconut cream into this final product. So with your soups, one of the things I love about making a soup in the Thermomix is the fact that we don't need to transfer it to blend it. After 15 minutes, it's just like making your veggie stock. It'll be measuring cup in, and it'll be turning up gradually to speed 9 and blitz for 1 minute. 1 minute gives us that silky, smooth, amazing taste, that we flavor, texture that we know the Thermomix does. Okay, by the way, what's your favorite soup recipe? Do put that in the chat. Let's inspire each other with amazing recipes today in this cooler weather. Some warmingness is always helpful. Now, by the way, with the pumpkin, I leave the skin on, and I leave most of the seeds too. They're full of good stuff. Okay, so, and we grow our own pumpkins, so I know that they're not sprayed or anything. They're actually highly neglected. They're actually left out there to go wild, and then we pick them. So, yeah, that's how we do ours, is we leave all the bits and pieces on. It also makes it really easy to prep for. So they are warmed off beautifully. It smells amazing, those cumin seeds. Now, I'll just give you a bit of an idea of how much veggies. Okay, I wouldn't normally weigh it. I would just eyeball it and throw it in, but I'll give you an idea. Now, I've got them in rough chunks because we are going to chop them down slightly before we cook off. All right, oh, there's another bit of turmeric that can go into. If you are looking for more anti-inflammatory recipes, you can actually type into Cookie Do hashtag anti-inflammatory, probably. I'm trying to think. Then there's some in there, like there is a beautiful, that's 500 grams of pumpkin. There is a beautiful Louise Fulton Keats recipe, I think it is, that's got the turmeric latte, things like that, which are just beautiful recipes. Try those ones. And that was another 250 of carrots. So that's in there now. If you had any other veggies you want to put in, say you want to put some broccoli stem in there or something like that, you certainly could put other things. Obviously just not watery things. If you start putting zucchinis in, and a lot of zucchinis, the liquid content is going to come up a lot, and you're going to end up with quite a watery soup rather than a creamy kind of style soup. If that happens though, with our Thermomixing, it's not the end of the world. A little bit of corn flour. I'm going to avoid corn flour at the moment. I'm going to avoid all things. I'm just going to eat all natural things at the moment, okay? But if you can eat corn flour, if you're, for some reason your soup came out not as creamy as you'd like it to be, and, you know, adding more coconut cream dilutes the flavor too much, you could actually thicken it up with some corn flour and water. Okay, so you just shake your corn flour in a little bit of water, say a tablespoon, and then pour it until it's the texture you like. The other trick is you can actually add a handful of cashews into it. Blend it with the cashews, and that will just make it super creamy as well. So really another way to thicken without, you know, doing anything too much extra. So I want to chop this first. It's a super rough chop, so we'll go up to speed 7 again. Let it come up to speed slowly because it's got that. That'll probably do me. Excuse the bouncing. I'm not on a kitchen bench. I don't have that luxury here in this room. Have a look. It's a really rough chop, but what it does is it gives it a really even cook and a faster cook really too. Okay. I've just dropped some around the outside. Look at that color. Isn't that beautiful and vibrant? Okay. So now we're going to put in some water. They say to put in, it says 3 cups of, they're doing vegetable broth. So 3 cups for us. Oops, wrong way, scales. You know, Lisa's not 100% when she can't scroll the right way on the screen. It should be well and truly habits by today. Okay, so for us, that's 750. Okay, so in that goes, because it's 250 grams per cup. Okay, so when they're asking for 3 cups. Oh, a little heavy, that's okay. And then beautiful veggie stock. As I said, a heaped tablespoon. I've only got a teaspoon in here with me, so you'll see me try and extra heap it. It's probably not enough. Let's put a little bit more in. We do like our veggie stock. Okay, and then 15-minute cook. So you do want to have your simmering basket placed on top, and I did not bring mine. Oh no, I've got one behind me. Excellent. I was going to say I didn't bring it in, but I do. The reason we put the simmering basket on is that safety update we had a few months back now. Actually, it was probably 6 months back now, where anything over 90 degrees, put the simmering basket on top to stop anything coming out the top, any splatter out the top. Okay, so it still lets the humidity out, so it will evaporate slightly still. This won't evaporate much. There's a lot of liquid in here, but it stops that splatter. Okay, so this goes on here. One more note as well. Once I've done this, I want to tell you about turmeric. So 15 minutes on the timer. I'm going to tell you 2 things. I'm going to tell you about turmeric, 100 degrees because we want it boiling, and then off on speed 1. That'll do. Now, 2 things before we finish up. Turmeric. Turmeric can stain your Thermomix, your black on your Thermomix. I'm just going to pause that so I don't have to talk over it because I don't have that much voice to talk over it. If that worries you about staining, you can pre-oil the underneath of your lid. You'll find this in here is what stains, or you can, and sometimes the splatter out here. Okay, you can put a little bit of oil on it. It can prevent it sometimes. The other thing you can do is if it does get stained, if you put it through the dishwasher, it tends to lift it off. And some people do like to put it in the sun to pull those stains out. My thing is, it's just a sign of a well-loved Thermomix, okay? I'd love to see your Thermomix being loved and used the most as possible. The other thing is, the very last step on this, I made mention before, but after 15 minutes, simmering basket off, measuring cup on, okay? Then we go 1 minute on the timer, no temperature, and we're going to go from speed, we go all the way up to 9, but we tend to go from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 gradually because that gets rid of the lumps on the way up to speed. Does that make sense? So the traditional method that they have, oh, and don't forget the coconut cream if you'd like that at the end. Hello, Casey. I am making an anti-inflammatory soup today because I have terrible allergies. So theirs says to put it on a stovetop, cover and simmer for 20 minutes, then transfer to a blender. Okay, so isn't it great that with the Thermomix we don't need to? And then they say dollop your coconut yogurt on top, they say to enjoy. But I'm just going to put the coconut cream through to the flavouring that I like. So up to speed 1 here, this will go. And I will take a photo at the end. I hope to be back to you and sharing some more recipes. We'll see how I go. Hopefully the antihistamines kick in soon so that I'm not feeling like a tap all the time. But otherwise, guys, I'm here to help you get the most out of your Thermomix. Don't hesitate to email, message, DM me if you've got questions. If you've got friends and family curious about a Thermomix, please do put them in touch. I would love to help them get a Thermomix on the bench and change their kitchen with what they can do and the ease that it brings. So, hello, Joanna, how are you today? Thank you. Thank you for the well wishes. It's just hard. It's just hard when you're like walking around with the tissue box constantly. And it's not because I'm sick. You know, I'm not sick. I'm just running. Everything's running. It's terrible. But otherwise, I hope this inspires you to give it a go. And when you aren't feeling great, know that the Thermomix gives us freedom and options to, to bring healing to our body, and the choices in our food so we can eat good food that don't give us allergies in the first place. But guys, take care. I can't wait to come back on the next video soon, and I will see you then. Bye for now.